Happy Australia Day. We're here at Borderline Speedway in Mount Gambier in South Australia. This is our first video here in South Australia. We haven't been to this state before to do an at-track video. Tonight we're filming with the 81 of Luke Dillon, who's in the background. There's a packed crowd here tonight. I think there's over 3,000 people, and they got the most cars they've ever had for this event, the King's Challenge. I think over 70 cars here tonight, so should be a cracking night. There's qualifying and hot laps are combined. I think they get about 4 laps. And we've also got 2 heats and everyone gets a main, so should be a fun night. We've got so many repeat winners, including 6 Americans here tonight. So many cars and drivers who have won events throughout the season. This is basically the prelude to the Classic, so should be a really tough night. It is crazy hot here. It's been a fun Australia Day so far. Let's see what happens. Just had qualifying for the first session. Luke went, I think, about 2nd quickest in his heat group. I think Tyler Courtney just pipped him, but when Luke went out earlier, it was a little bit greasy too. So 2nd session's out there right now qualifying, but let's hear from Luke to hear what he has to say. How was time trials?
Yeah, pretty good. We went out pretty early in the first group, so I was pretty happy with my time. Track's greasy. It doesn't look as greasy as what it is, so it's a bit tricky.
And you like this place?
Yeah, I do. Like, it's one of our local tracks, so the more you race in the same places like here, Murray Bridge, stuff like that, the better you go. So if I like it or not, it's sort of irrelevant. It's just somewhere where I'm used to, so it's definitely come here confident.
Do you ever consider missing tonight ahead of the Classic?
No, not really. This is a pretty big race for us, so if I crash here and it makes the Classic hard tomorrow, so be it.
You must be pretty happy to see 70 cars here tonight.
Yes, look, it's great to see that many cars. It's hopefully we can get them over and done with early enough so everyone can go home and back to Warrnambool. But it's the spectators and the competitors are overwhelming, basically. Yeah.
Are you still doing the track prep here?
Yeah, I've done it for a couple of days. I probably messed it up a little bit tonight. I had it a fraction too wet, but I think it's worked out okay. Yeah, we've been doing it for a couple of years and yeah, having a bit of fun.
Stick around, folks. It's still Monday.
First round of heats have just finished. They're doing some track prep right now. The first round of heats, it actually did get quite wide, and I'm not surprised they're doing track prep. Probably a good thing, especially with the sun being so bright and still almost feels like it's in the middle of the sky right now. It is 7:15 at night. We've still got another full round of heats. We were out there with Luke Dillon. Obviously, you would have seen him, we had the GoPro on his car. He's now out of, what is that, position number 2, 4, 6, 8. He's out of position number 9 in the 7th heat. I'd love to explain how the heats work, but basically it's a full invert, but swapping rows, and then in groups of 2, they swap lanes. So there's a whole lane in your heat that you didn't race with in the first round of heat. Still plenty to see tonight. Like I said, full another round of heat to go. They're doing some track prep. Let's go get a word from Luke now to see what he thought of his first heat. How was the heat race?
Oh, it was alright. Lost the spot to Steve Lyons a bit early in the race, so that was a bit of a bugger as far as points go, but pretty happy with how we went.
Yeah, and you feel good in the car?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a bit zigzaggy down the straight, but I think the track was a bit uneven.
Did you go look at the track and the work they did?
Yeah, it doesn't help us at all really, because we're so early and we've got to start from the back, so I think it'll be a bit of a processional race.
James, you won here last year. Do you think it's a bit tougher again this year?
Oh yeah, obviously the car quality is really good. A lot of good Americans here and a lot of really good Australians every year. I come home, it seems that more and more young kids and the kids that are doing a good job, like Lockie and Jock, are getting faster and faster. So yeah, it's always tough.
You enjoying being in this car as opposed to the Monte car you were in the last few years?
Oh, I'm not opposed to anything. You know, it's just a different setup. Obviously, I didn't want to race a lot this year, and
yep.
And this still fitted my program well. I think we've built a new team from scratch. You know, we've sort of been about up front in every race, trying to win about every race we've been in. So yeah, I think we're where we need to be for sure, and confident in everybody around it.
Feel good in the heat race?
No, actually I didn't. So you know, we've got a bit of work to do there, but I don't think anyone feels very good right now. The track's sort of very patchy, so we'll just go to work on it, see if we can't either tune it up better or big tune it, one of the two.
You having fun over here, man?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, first time on the East Coast racing, but it's been good. Obviously, our West Coast trip went really well, and last night was a little frustrating, but you know, that's what they make tonight for. And we started off good, quick time in our heat, won our heat, and see how the rest of the night goes.
How do you like working with Dylan?
Dylan's been awesome. I've known Dylan for probably 6-7 years now, probably. He came over and helped Veely in the States, and they were working on Indy race parts, and I was working on Indy race parts. So I've known Dylan for a while. It was the first time working with him, but it's been fun. We've clicked pretty well, and we've been fast pretty much every night we've been out. So it's been yeah, good combination, and we got tonight and a big weekend coming up here with the Classic to you know, finish this trip out strong.
You like our tracks over here?
Yeah, they're a little different. They're all pretty flat. Like I think a couple of these places would be really badass if they just had a little banking, but that's what they are. That's what they've always been. So you just gotta adapt and you know, try and figure them out as quick as you can. Like tonight, straight in your hot laps was qualifying. So my first laps were qualifying, and you know, it's probably the most important laps of the night, and so that's a little interesting. But yeah, it's cool. It's different for sure, but I think that's what makes it cool and, you know, a little challenging at the same time.
Do you think this Monty ride will be something that you can continue with over the next few years?
Yeah, I hope so. That's up to Luch. I'd love to. Yeah, I think Luch is happy. I'm happy. It's been great. We've had an awesome time, and yeah, hopefully Luch keeps wanting to put me in the car and you know, keep making these trips over here and you know, make it an annual thing.
What's your American schedule look like this year?
It's gonna be busy. We should be announcing it here pretty soon, but yeah, busy. I think you know, over 80 races on schedule, so be a lot, and it's gonna be crazy.
can run whatever you want. I don't care.
I don't see any problem with it. Like I don't like the idea of changing what's working for no reason.
Alright, would you want to just spin that, run that in the final?
You can run that fine. Tell Brim and spin it.
Yeah.
I'll get that done
All right, so we're here at Borderline. The heat races have just finished. The points have been tallied up for. We got the twin B mains and the A main. We got the grids here. We got Jock and McFadden off the front row. We got some trucks leaving. That looks like Well from Queensland's leaving. We saw another Queensland car in Ryan Newton already leave. They're at the Newton was at the back of one of the B mains. So not surprising. And the 56 cars that are left here, that some of them have already decided to go home. So going to be a pretty hectic B main or two B mains, and the A's definitely not any easier. But the one car we're following, Luke Dillon, looks like he's out of the outside of the fifth row out of position number 10. He moved forward in his second heat, grabbed I think about 4 or 5 spots. So things really worked out well for him there. Some guys, didn't move forward in their heats, and it's really buried them in the B mains. So looking forward to seeing if guys like Cody Morosky, the winner at Toowoomba on the weekend, can make it through, and guys like Marcus Dumsey starting on the outside of him in their B main. So yeah, definitely not easy here tonight at Borderline, but we'll see what happens in these B mains and get ready for the A main.
Thanks to wheel these cars. Very handy on the bitumen side of things. He's got the energy for his Mustang. Not too long to wheel. Going forward and going forward.
Packed up. We better move out of the way here. A lot of teams have either packed up and already headed to Warrnambool because it's a couple hours drive. Some are just finishing up now. Some are actually wrecked in those B mains. It's kind of a bit of a wreck fest tonight, but I know that it's a bit of a late night and teams and drivers aren't real stoked about it all just because it is such a late night. But at the same time, I know the club here wanted to give them plenty of laps. So what time is it now? It is 20 to 11. And the A-main's about to push out. It'll be a good race either way. Although it's freezing cold, I can't wait. Just got in the wall up here in turns number 4 and just tore. Still nice and warm, but just tore the front axle off it. And Kerry Madsen got into him in the end as well. Just before that, a few laps ago, we had Daniel Pesca get under a car here in 1 and 2 and flip backwards after staying on the gas. I'm not sure how Tyler Courtney got a flat right rear, but he's out of the race too. So a lot of teams. Cody Morosky's on the infield here. We had Matt Dumsey pull in just beforehand. So we had a lot of teams pull in, a lot of teams out. They'll be happy to get back to Warrnambool early as possible. We've also got Callum Williamson, who rode the wall here in turn number 4. So yeah, definitely an interesting feature race. I said just last night that I thought James McFadden would be more comfortable had he been in the Monty ride, but he looks very comfortable in the Hodges ride tonight. The number 5, he's out in front right now, leading the feature race, but Jock Goodyear's just behind him, and another guy who's been stellar all season, Jamie Veal, is in 3rd. So they're not going to be in traffic, obviously, when we go back for a restart, but yeah, definitely between Jock, Jamie, and James, who's leading the race, it should be a cracking end to this feature race. That's it for tonight. James McFadden won. I said just last night after Avalon that I thought James would probably look better in the Monty car, but he looked great in the Hodges number 5 tonight. Never really looked like losing. I think with the track being so fast and having open air, he was just better on those restarts. We had a fair few restarts after so many guys got into the wall in turns 3 and 4. So fair bit of carnage. Looks like a bit of a wrecking yard here on the infield, but he looks pretty dominant. Maybe on the longer runs I thought Jock looked probably a little bit better, but between those two and Jamie Veal, they all look solid tonight. So definitely a great indication, I think, of what's to come for the Classic. Let's go hear from some of the drivers now. That was probably the best I've seen you look so far in this car.
Yeah, we let's say we've been working hard at it. I feel like we've been super close all year. I don't think the results probably show how fast we've actually been. I think, you know, we're in contention to win every race we've been in. So, you know, to be dominant, I don't know if it was dominant, but to be feel like as dominant as what we were was nice. Our car just drives so square now. Like I said, we changed a few things and moved some stuff around. Obviously, Buzzy and I had been working on the same car for the last 5 or 6 years, and obviously the same sort of car in America. So to change your program was pretty tough, but I feel pretty confident about it now.